One in 8 children go to school hungry in Australia, and an organisation in Melbourne is trying to change that with the help of some very generous volunteers. Johanna Meka filed this report.
I know we've explained to you about the school lunches, but if maybe Linda, you just want to say a few words to the residents about what we're doing?
Absolutely. Well, definitely should be me who's thanking all of you, because it's a really huge contribution they've made, all these sandwiches, so we'll fill that whole table, which is an enormous effort.
Table of sandwiches.
Look at them all.
Look at that.
Cool.
A big, really, you should feel very fancy.
Yeah, so how about we give you all a round of applause for such a great effort.
Fantastic.
Yeah, very good. So to let you know what will happen next, we've got a refrigerated van downstairs. So we'll load these sandwiches into there. Then I'll be driving out to the western suburbs of Melbourne to some schools we support, and some children will be having those for lunch. So you can all be very satisfied when you're having your lunch that you've helped nearly 350 sandwiches and maybe more over there. That's right.
From the beginning, take me back to how EOP started.
From the start. Well, back home in Shepparton, where I grew up, of course, it was really simple beginnings. Like, I wasn't a special day or anything sort of out of the norm at all. I was just reading the paper, having breakfast, and in the Shep News, our local newspaper, there was a story in there about 2 schools, both around the corner from where I lived, and the story was profiling these kids who were being sent to school without anything to eat, so nothing at all from home, and were just forced to go hungry at school. And I was really shocked to read that. Firstly, I had no idea it was an issue that was happening locally. It just didn't seem like something that I'd ever sort of comprehend would happen in Shepparton, and I was really sort of moved to try and do something about it, like being so passionate about your hometown. And when it is like a smaller country town, you just really feel that if you don't do anything about it, it's unlikely things are going to change anytime soon. So even though it seemed like a big issue, these kids moving without food, I thought, by doing something simple as making them a sandwich. Like, I was literally making breakfast at the time, so buttering toast, so I just thought, why not make them some sandwiches? We're out here in Melton doing a drop. This is one of our bigger schools in terms of the volume. So we've got a whole bunch of sort of Vegemite sandwiches, cheese sandwiches there ready for them to go, and drop them off, yeah. So mostly Vegemite out here in Melton. One of the few schools, I'd say, that has a Vegemite preference over the cheese. Thank you. Hi, how are you? Just got some top-up sandwiches here.
And what does the future hold for EOP?
Certainly we know there's a great demand around Victoria. We want to sort of fully support that. And then going back to the statistic of 1 in 8 kids around Australia, we want to support kids nationally. So a lot of the groups we work with, whether it's access to food, those companies are located around the country. There's so many generous Australians out there who have been quite overwhelmed by the number of volunteers. So I'm very, very confident we can sort of access that in other states.
Too quick for me. Too quick for me. Under pressure.
No, perfect.